And welcome to 302 Sports here live from Milford, Delaware, the Milford Invitational. I'm Benny Mitchell here at 302 Sports. With me tonight, one of Delaware's legendary wrestlers and coaches, Kurt Howe. Kurt, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Benny. It's good to be with you again.
So let's start. We're going right here, 106 pounds. We have Julian Rapano from Del Castle. He is 6-0 this year, 17-10 in his career. He was 4th in the Blue Hen Conference last year and 1st at Polytech. And he's taking on Drew Simpson, a freshman from Delaware Military Academy, 3-0 on the season. So a little bit of a upstate battle here in our first match at 106 pounds. Del Castle versus DMA.
Should be interesting here. I see Drew. I know Drew's a freshman. What year is?
I believe Rapano is a sophomore.
Okay.
He didn't put his grade down.
Yeah, Drew's got some. He's a very athletic kid. I know he plays baseball and looks like he's kind of lost a little bit of baby fat from last year and gotten down to 106. And
we're going to see another Delaware military guy coming up in a couple matches. That's Williams, Daniel Williams. So L.A. Kyer, nice freshman class with just those two guys alone he's got in here.
Oh yeah, I've seen. There's a handful of freshmen in there that are they're going to have a good team, and LA's a great coach, so going to see some good wrestling.
Here we go, 106 pounds underway. Championship match at the Milford Invitational. Simpson is wearing the red ankle band, and Rapano wearing the green.
Nice shot. He's got that single leg converted.
And I don't think Rapano's got a wizard. I know he's just trying to hand fight that lock.
Dragging it out.
Take down Simpson, 2-0. Oh, no takedown yet.
He's being stingy on that. Now he's turning it into his shot. That's a nice.
And Simpson able to come right back to his feet and avoid the takedown.
Wow, nice battle. Nice battle. Nobody's giving anything up here. I like that. And still nothing. Oh, there's the
Rapano gets the takedown, 2-0 with 1:12 to go in the first period. First match of the night, 106 pounds. Rapano probably this year has an advantage being, an upperclassman, so to speak, at 106. Still have to deal with the defending state champion, GM Petro from Smyrna, who placed 3rd at the Ironman this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see where Gabe ends up. During the year, I know he went down to 106 for the Ironman. Oh, here's a nice return there for some back points, it looks. No,
Yep, 2 back for Julian Rapano out of Del Castle.
He's got a nice, tough ride. He's got forward pressure. I think a lot of kids, they don't do that. They struggle with, on top, forward pressure. They see it as a ride instead of trying to turn the guy. He looks like he's got some really good forward pressure and a nice lift here.
15 seconds to go here in the first period, and he gets hit with a stall call.
Not sure I agree with that.
Yeah.
It looked like he was trying to
return him.
Switch there.
And time's going to run out. No change in position. So end of the first period, Rapano takes a 4-0 lead for the Del Castle Cougars. Del Castle's a team, Kurt, they seem to have a guy every once in a while. Last year they had and already I forgot his name, a state champion, 170 last year.
I know who you're talking about, but I'm terrible with names.
I mean, Wolf a few years before that. And they have a guy that just comes up every few years and puts himself in a state championship match.
Yeah, the boy you were referring to, he had a really nice match with Greg Baum a few years ago. I remember they rocked and rolled. There's a nice, it's like there's no change.
He dropped
there.
down to the single and got him back to the mat this time. So 4-0 here with 1:35 to go in the second period.
Once again, he's got a lot of good forward pressure there. He might get hit for stalling here if he doesn't try a lift. There it is.
And there's the stall call and the point. So he's kind of committed to stay on top now. 4-1 lead for Rapano.
Drew did a nice job of staying on his feet and holding those hands so he couldn't return them, and really he was kind of stuck there unless he cut him. But he's got to get his escape.
53 seconds to go here in the second period. Rapano leads 4-1, but he does have has 2 stall calls so far in this match, both of them for not being able to return his opponent to the mat.
He's got some nice forward pressure, but he's not getting out to the side. And so I think Kenny Krieger, the referee here, is kind of seeing that, kind of putting the pressure on him to do something on top.
Kenny Krieger, former William Penn guy. His wrestling days back when William Penn was the power, trying to get back in. Now they have a couple guys in the finals.
Looks like Drew can slide back on this. He should be able to at least get a point.
20 seconds to go here.
It's hard for me to see from my angle.
Yeah, they put the coaches' benches next to our table.
There you go. It's a nice scramble.
5 seconds on the restart.
Yeah, I felt like Drew had a nice chance to get an escape there. He just kind of didn't get his leg out there. Here it is. It is again.
So in the second period, 4-1 Rapano, and he's going to take the bottom position. Put 2 minutes on the clock. Third period here in our first match at 106 pounds at the Milford Invitational.
Let's see what Simpson has on top.
Right to started to go to a bar, but clears the path.
Looks like Rapano's going to be out. And there it is.
Simpson right back on him.
Nothing yet. He's not giving it to him.
Simpson took it. Gets the reversal. Kind of took it back. Kind of a backwards path to that.
Yeah.
But made it work.
Drew likes to use his hips instead of sprawling, and he kind of ran into him and ran into a, kind of like a boot scoop. Here we are again in that standing position, and then switch.
Rapano looks, gets elevated.
He likes, there's those hips again, right. Stepping over. He used them well this time.
Gets the reversal, 6-3 lead for Julian Rapano with 1:04 to go on the clock.
Drew's going to have to get some back points. He's
looking at
working
Oakley
hard.
bar.
There he goes.
Anchored out to a mixer.
There he goes.
And Rapano draws across that double, and he's got that. He's going to go deep half here. It's 8-3, and now the swipes come here. 39 seconds. Rapano looking for the fall. And gets back chest to chest.
Fight here. He's got to keep fighting.
And he gets the fall with 27 seconds left to go. So 5 minutes and 33 seconds for the pin. And Julian Rapano is your champion at 106 pounds. And a couple out-of-state teams, something we don't really get here to Milford Invitational. It's usually more of a local, but here's one of the first ones, St. Mary Riken, and a pretty good school out of the Baltimore area.
Yeah, my wife Jana was saying that's right around where she's from. So St. Mary's is my brother-in-law lives in that area.
Right. So here we go at 113 pounds from St. George's, wearing the black singlet with the green trim. He's a sophomore. He's 5-0 on the season. Fourth at the Delaware State Tournament last year, and he's a Blue Hen Conference runner-up. This is Matt Meadows from St. George's. And in the green singlet, we have Mason Buckler, freshman, 10-1 on the season for St. Mary Riken. St. Mary Riken Knights in the green, St. George's Hawks in the black. We're off and rolling at 113 pounds.
It's a little change of pace here with these 13-pounders, like feeling each other out. Those 106-pounders were
letting it fly.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, Kurt, we will pick tonight's hammer, sponsored by the Henlopen Hammers. The guy we think is most impressive in these finals. We'll sit down. We'll interview him at the end of the night. So keep looking for a guy of mine here at the end of the broadcast. And also after tonight, with the Del Mar tournament this weekend, the Newark tournament, and Milford, going to be able to put together some rankings for 302 Sports. And I know I've gotten a lot of emails and messages. What's taking so long? I got to find out who's on the mat where. It kind of takes me to this weekend every year.
Yeah, you got to see them. I mean, dual meets are one thing, but here's where you really see
right.
where they they fall out,
So Meadows in on
nice
a trip. No takedown. They go out of bounds with 43 seconds to go in the first period.
Yeah, he just missed dragging he didn't drag his feet there. He had the trip, and then his foot went out of bounds. So it's a good call.
St. George is coached by, when we talk about Delaware wrestlers, some of the all-time greats, Pat Atkinson.
Yeah, Pat Atkinson was a 5-time state finalist.
Yeah, 3-time champ.
Yeah.
Had I think he started the 8th grade year at Caraval and finished at St. Mark's.
It looks like he could, go back out there.
It looks like he can still make like 20, make 26 and so. I mean,
he runs 50-mile marathons. It's a nice scramble position here, coming out the back door and
looking to catch that far hip. 10 seconds to go in the period.
Buckler's got to try to push that foot off. He got it off, but he lost position.
No score here yet in the match, and time runs out. End of the first period, 0-0.
Nice counter by Meadows.
Meadows 4th in the state last year out of St. George's. 13, that was won by Spence out of Salesianum last year. He is now gone. So Meadows returning to his weight class. So down position will go Buckler here in the second period, no score. And Kurt, your thoughts on this? Obviously you want to score first.
Did he choose bottom, or did they?
I believe he deferred and he chose bottom.
Yeah. See, I always I think it's just a standard thing that if you're 0-0, you got to take bottom first to try to get that escape point.
Being from out of state, you don't know what maybe tops this guy's position, and it looks like Meadows might get a score here. He's got cross arm. He's looking to Turk the low leg.
He's got good position. He's got him broken down, and so this might be where he's tough. I don't know anything about him. Never.
He wants to go cradle now, but Buckler able to straighten himself out and get that arm free, and now he's back to his belly with 1:15 to go.
Matt's got to clear that leg and get some weight back, pressure back on him here. Looks like he's able to get back up to his knees. Now he's got to start getting those hips out. There you go. He's coming up. Nice return.
Now you talk about forward pressure. Meadows got good forward pressure here. He's trying to score. He just can't get him over.
You always just watch their legs. Like if their knees are on the mat, they're just not as confident on the top. If their feet are on the mat and their knees are they're driving forward. They're getting good forward pressure.
40 seconds to go here in the second period. No score in the match. We're at 113 pounds in the championship match at the Milford Invitational, Milford, Delaware.
Buckler likes that cross arm ride. He's not really, other than the beginning part of the period, he's not really threatening to score with it.
Meadows.
Oh, I'm sorry, Meadows, yeah.
19 seconds to go here, second period. Buckler rises to his feet, puts on the hand fight, trying to get that hand in the back pocket. Meadows able to get him back to the mat with 10 seconds to go.
There's that cross arm again. He's got a backdoor leg. He's getting close here.
And time's going to run out, so still no score after 4 minutes of wrestling. We'll move to the third period. And now this time, Meadows is going to take the bottom position. So, again, same thing as you don't know this guy. You're just kind of taking a chance here.
Yeah, I think you learn a lot in the first 5 seconds.
Right to a tight waist ankle.
Getting forward pressure and then changing off. So
looking to go inside wrist, brings it out.
He's got him broken down with that too. Right. He's going to put it on his back, and
that looks like a heavyweight match here, but getting that inside wrist across the back.
That Oki bar, yeah. Belly drive him over.
And Meadows putting up a fight here. 1:24 to go. He's in a bad position, but he's fighting it off.
I feel like he's got to come off that leg or might get hit for a stall there. There it is.
And hits the bottom man for stalling. So the first stall call of the match. 1:06 to go here in the third period. No score in the match.
There's not a whole lot of action here, but you know, I think we look at top wrestling for Stalin, but you know, Meadows has to get those
work.
feet moving.
40 seconds to go in the match. And Buckler looking for a cradle here. And I know again.
Take that arm over. If he can take that arm over the head, he can come out the hole there. It's a little scrambling here. Now we're into something big. Something's going to happen. Nope. So
10 seconds to go here. Got the inside wrist, brings it out. Meadows able to clear it. Now he's in a high half ride, looking for some swipes. No swipes yet. 2 seconds to go, and we're going into overtime.
Mike Jordan taking control of the match.
Yes, it is. He's hitting the St. Mary Riken's corner.
They got to learn who
you got to learn who the official is too. That's correct.
Coaches were looking over at me. What's that?
Yeah, I think they wanted us to
help him out.
Yeah. I don't want to get hit with a point from the broadcast booth, for God's sakes. 55 seconds here in the first overtime. No score in this match. And Mike's a Maryland guy. Maybe these guys just haven't been around long enough. He's been in Delaware for quite some time.
Yeah, I'm not sure they would recognize that name from that far back.
Okay. And Meadows looking to go behind here from the front head. Tries to get the hips behind,
there it is.
Gets it. Takedown. Matt Meadows, he's your champ at 113 pounds with a 2-0 win in overtime.
Not a whole lot of action there, but boy, in that overtime, they really kicked it up.
Yeah, they got things going. So we're going to move to 120 pounds. In the blue singlet from Delaware Military Academy, Daniel Williams. He's a freshman, 3-0 on the season. I think all three of those matches are here today. And he's up against Jack Todia from Milford High School. He's a sophomore. He's 7-0 this season with 7 pins, 45-7 in his career. 2019 Eastern National third-place winner, 2018 the New Way runner-up, and he was the 2019 Hennepin Conference champion and a state runner-up last year here in Delaware. He is in the burgundy singlet.
I've really been looking forward to this match. Jack, I think he came on last year.
Yeah,
he was one of those kids that it was kind of one of those kids you knew was really good coming up, but I think he just steadily improved at that Milford program. I think the coaches did a really good job with him, and in Danny, I've seen him a lot in the last year. He's gone out of state a lot, and he's only a freshman, but he's a freshman with a lot of experience, a lot of out-of-state experience. So, this should be a really
in on a high crotch. Look at the score. He's got both legs wrapped up.
And
Tony looks to funk.
And they're coming out. Now, let's see how familiar Danny is with this.
Oh, he's going to go Merkle.
He goes the Merkle.
That's a takedown.
Wow.
And Cody
very
skips
aware.
right away.
I like that. That's very aware for a freshman to recognize he's right there in that position.
Right.
All he had to do was throw that leg in.
Now, I'm going to give myself a cheap plug. Before Milford, Cody came out of the Hennepin Hammer program.
I know that.
Cheap plug there. Cheap plug. So under a minute to go. 2-1 lead for
Benny. I think
Daniel
you plug yourself a lot during these matches. You got a lot of kids that came through your program.
Cody in on a high cross. Oh, Williams able to
scramble.
He may have heard a whistle because Cody just stopped wrestling there.
It looked like he had that.
Two to 1 lead for Dan Williams in the blue. Jack Cody, he was a
upper body here.
And you got to watch this kid. He can throw. All these Milford kids can throw.
Yeah, I know. Parsley puts him through some throwing routines. He does a lot of cross steps with him.
And on a sweep single, now he goes to the head. Takedown Jack Cody, he leads 3-2.
He just never stops. That's what I like about him. He just keeps coming at you.
And I think that's from last year to this year, I think that's what he's picked up. Last year You know, as a freshman, he was kind of finding his way. This year, it's all business.
I think by the end of the year last year,
right.
you just kind of you just could see the confidence, and he was just kind of picking it up.
Now he just looked at his coach and had to nod his head and convince him he needed to be on his feet. That's where he feels comfortable. That's where he wants to be. 3-2, Jack Tody leads. He takes a neutral here in the second position. And the other thing I think Jack's gained, because I bump into him coming into practice here, and as he's leaving, sometimes he helps us with our club. And confidence is the other thing he's picked up as a sophomore.
Yeah, you could see it last year coming on. You know, it was just,
snap, go behind, takedown, Jack Tody. He leads 5-2. And I think what we're going to look for in this match is can Tody break Williams at some point in this match?
Right. I was just thinking the same thing. Being a freshman, how's Danny going to respond to being, some relentless pressure here? You know, I know Danny's a great wrestler. We'll just, he's got to keep bringing it. There
Comes out, Tody goes for a cradle, and Williams gets the escape, 5-3. And Tody in on another shot, and throws him right to his back.
Pancake.
And gets the fall.
That was a quick pin.
Yeah. 3 minutes and 3 seconds into the match. Jack Tody from Milford gets the pin, and he's your 2019 Milford Invitational champion at 120 pounds. So we move to 126, and we're going to have the other team we're going to talk about from out of state. First, we're going to start with Evan Eldridge. He's from St. Mary Riken. He's a sophomore. He's 10-0 on the season, 68-10 in his career, third in the state last year and first in the WCAC. And he's going to be up against Nico Williams out of Greenburg, Salem, out of Pennsylvania. He's a senior, 7-3, and he was a 2018 WPIAL qualifier. And the most interesting part about this Greenburg Salem team, Kurt, they're coached by Don Parsley's brother,
Randy. Yeah,
I met the Parsley family last night in that crowd. Is Eldridge in a shot right away. And trying to dig for that low leg. He's going to go over the top leg and gets the takedown. 2-0. Eldridge in the blue and green singlet. Williams in the white, brown and gray.
This is a match I'm just watching and enjoying because I don't know either one of these guys.
That's right.
The background here, but just trying to see what they bring to the table. I see a nice Oki bar on top, backside wrist.
Well, you got a Maryland private school state champion, which is third, which is pretty impressive, and a guy that even qualified for the Whippeal.
Right.
And he's got the backs. He's looking for the fall here. Still in the first minute of the match.
Tough
and
on
gets
top.
the fall in 1:03 for Evan Eldridge of St. Mary Riken. He's your champion at 126 pounds. So 3 matches. We had the overtime match and then 2 pins. So we're going to move to 132 pounds, and we're going to have another St. Mary Riken wrestler. He's a senior, 10-0. He has 149 career wins, 2-time Mawa All-American, 3-time Maryland placer, 1-time Maryland state champ, and a WCAC champion. And under college commitment, he said, good question. I don't know.
Good question.
Right. Blake Jury in the green for St. Mary Riken. And for St. George's, a senior, 5-1 this season, 63-32 in his career. He's a returning state place winner, 2-time Blue Hen Conference finalist, 6 at the Mount Madness, 4th at Ray Oliver. And his name's Scott Reagan, and he'll be wearing the green and gray. So both these two coming in with pretty good credentials.
So here I'm not completely blind. I know Scott. And, he's a
right hand high crotch in for Jury. Takes him right to his back and to his back.
Wow. Nice high crotch. Nice transition off that high crotch. A lot of kids just shoot that high crotch and expect that's when it ends.
Right.
But, you got a wrestler when he's driving up and through that high crotch and finishing, and not only that, but he goes right for the back points.
Right. We do a drill a couple times during the year. We call it score again, where you get your takedown and go right for back points. And we kind of drill it, several times during the year, and the kids start to get it. And they start doing it in matches, and it's kind of what they must do a similar type of thing.
We got to compare notes, Benny. I have a very similar drill.
Minute 13 to go here, first period. 132 pounds, 4-0 lead for Blake Jury.
Once again, he's got forward pressure, but he's hovering over that leg there. So we'll see how that's nice. Some nice movement from Regan. Regan. We say Regan?
I say Regan. I guess it's Regan. I'm not real sure. 51 seconds go in the first period. 4-0 lead for Jury. And right to that tight waist ankle brings him right back to the mat, looking to go out front. And as you told, there's that forward pressure we talked about so far in the first 4 matches.
Yeah, he's getting. He's got it. Regan's up and back down, but he's kind of like riding pressure here. He's not really coming off the hips and taking chances. So we'll see if C.T. Baker starts looking for a stall here, because he's got to start doing something with that on top.
10 seconds to go here in the first period. And we're going to go out of bounds. 8 seconds on the restart. One thing I noticed about these St. Mary's Reagan kids is they walk with swagger on the mat.
Yeah.
Constantly chest out, head up.
Yeah, when you see, we only see these guys in the finals. We haven't seen the whole team, but certainly the two here in the finals have, kind of feel like they belong there.
And the toss goes to Regan. He's going to defer. And Jury's going to take bottom position. And Regan's going to put him up right away, give him the free release. 5-0 lead for Jury. Blake Jury out of St. Mary Reagan.
We'll see if Scott makes a little adjustment here after getting taken down quickly with that high crotch. He's on his right side. He better protect that right leg.
Takes a swipe at the ankle, it's just not there. $5-0 lead for Jury in the all green for the St. Mary Reagan. He looks to go a little shrug. Follows it with a shot.
For that high crotch again. Reagan with the counter shot. He's got to start working that head a little bit in that tie.
In a mixer position, snaps him back down. On the edge with a minute 15 to go. And we're going to go out of bounds. Minute 11 on the restart.
Jury looking for that shot again.
He's in on that right leg again. And the sound you hear behind us, we have other matches going on, other place matches going on. That's the Caesar Rodney crowd as one of their wrestlers picks up a pin over here on mat 1. We're here 7-0, free release here by Jury. It's 7-1 on mat 1 in the championship match at 132 pounds.
Regan's got to make an adjustment there, because he's gotten to that right leg a couple times, 3 or 4 times now. So he's going to have to either get a little bit lower or start bringing his head down so he can protect that side.
25 seconds go here in the second period. Regan with a shot. He's in deep on this one.
There's a good adjustment. The more you're in on his legs, the less he's on
yours.
yours.
You're right. Want to keep a guy off your legs? Get on his. 12 seconds to go on the restart. Neutral position.
And Scott's got a great shot. He just seems reluctant to move forward and start going for it.
Hips have to follow those hands, and what's happened both times when the shot is they've been able to lock in the crotch.
Yeah.
That's the end of the second period. The score is 7-1 for Blake Jury of St. Mary Riken. Regan's going to go bottom position as we start the third period.
So he's going to need a quick escape here, and then he's going to have to start measuring. Either he's got to score a lot of takedowns, or he's got to get some back points here.
Gets the escape, 7-2 lead for Jury. Go back to the center of the mat. Minute 43 to go.
If you have a throw, you always have the chance to get yourself back in the match. It doesn't look like Scott's too confident with digging in and trying to throw him, but here they are.
He protects that right leg that time.
He did. He made an adjustment. That was.
Oh, shot to the right leg, switches to the left, then to the right. Not there, and looks like Jury's going to come to the crater. Goes down to a single.
Nice counter attack by Jury. Nice counter attack.
And takedown Jury out of bounds. Minute 7 on the restart. 9-2 lead. And we didn't get to see much of the guy before him, but obviously these two are pairing up in the room because they both have real good reattacks and attacks.
Yeah. It's part of the reason I think Scott didn't take his shot was every time he took the shot, Jury was countering with that reshot and was getting in real good. And it's really, or he was countering by circling the head and front headlock. So
9-2 lead for Blake Jury. 52 seconds left to go here in the match at 132 pounds.
And once again, with some forward pressure, he's kind of closing the door on him right here.
Putting the ice on a little early.
Yeah.
Trying to ice this match out with a 9-2 lead and a title to take back with him. We're back across the bridge into the Baltimore area. That's where St. Mary Rikens is from. "20 seconds to go. Going into the high four.
High leg ride. Should have just kept that. That's where to ice it.
That's right. 8 seconds to go here in the match. And St. Mary Rikens is going to have their second champion here at the Milford Invitational. It's a final 9-2 for Blake Jury. And it looks like he may have won his 150th match as the banner goes up behind us here. He did. He told us 149 to start. So 150 career wins for Blake Jury and the 2019 Milford Invitational 132-pound champion. So we move to 138 pounds, and we're going to get a little local flavor here. That's Tim O'Hara, the sophomore, 6-1 on the season. Polytech champ. He was a state qualifier last year. And he's going up against Colt, and I'm going to have to check that name.
Rubrecht.
His handwriting wasn't all that
Looks
great.
like Rubrecht.
Rubrecht from Greenburg, Salem. He's a junior, 6-2, second last weekend at the Erie Classic.
Yeah, Tim had a nice, I think it was semifinals match where he was behind 4-1 and came back and won in overtime. It was just kind of kept his head in the match.
And he's in on his first takedown right away. He goes up 2-0 here in the first period at 138 pounds. Folks, you're watching 302 Sports Wrestling Action. I'm Benny Mitchell with Kurt Howe with me tonight. Kristen Mitchell on the camera. Wednesday night, we're going to have the battle in the Henlopen North when Caesar Rodney travels down to Georgetown to take on the Sussex Central Golden Knights. And, Kurt, you've been in a few of them. That's a hostile environment to go into.
Oh, yeah. There's used to be, I don't know if they still, have it, but there used to be like a student section, and they used to always sit them right next to
your bench.
Right next to our bench.
Well, they've switched since Phil left, they switched ends. But I'll tell you what they are doing. They're honoring their state champions on Wednesday night, so try to get themselves a nice full house for when the riders come to town.
Okay. Yeah, it should be a really good match. We'll see how it goes. They both have really good teams returning.
Right.
They both said they're really young, but
they are. Yeah.
I see.
Caesar Rodney ranked 4th in the state in Division I. Sussex Central ranked 5th. Milford as that number 3. Salesianum at 2, and your number 1 ranked team in the state are the defending champs, the Smyrna Eagles. And they have a team here tonight. We haven't seen anybody yet, but they sent about 5 or 6 guys out to the Ironman, so they're not at full strength at this tournament.
Yeah, a handful of weights. There was, I think, four weights where they had guys going.
Oh, nice reshot. Comes out the backside.
Tim is slick.
Takedown, Tim O'Hara.
I love watching him on his feet. He just he uses his length really well. Arm drags and picks and stuff like that.
4-1 lead for Tim O'Hara. Tim still comes, and after practice here at high school, he'll come and work out with our club. He, of course, wrestled for us for a couple of years.
He's got a great attitude.
Yes, he does.
He was at our practices all last spring, and just, he just makes everybody work hard. I mean, he's one of those guys in the room that just, wherever he's wrestling, somebody's feet are flying, and sometimes it's his, sometimes it's the other guys.
This time, Rubikchin is in on a shot, but they're on the edge. O'Hara able to pick the ankle, get himself out of bounds. No score, 4-1 with 1:32 to go here in the second period at 138 pounds.
And once again, he uses his length well. That defense, he just wrapped his leg, his foot wrapped around. It's like a snake wrapping around a tree. He almost uses his legs like arms. And that's, defensively, it's hard to score on somebody like that.
Goes to 2-on-1, needs to get head position,
There's
but instead goes to far ankle. Wraps up two legs. Takedown, Tim O'Hara. He's up 6-1.
That's the second time he's done that far pick.
I believe this is his first time down at 138. He's finally got himself down to weight. He had to wrestle 45. Took a loss the other night at 45 in the dual meet that they won. A dual meet that Milford was down 29 points.
Who was that to?
Against Cape.
Cape.
Down 29 points to Cape and Lopin, and the big boy stepped up, 5 pins out of 6 matches. And
wow. I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah.
Sounds like a barn burner. Good old Henlopen Conference barn burner.
That's right.
That's historic. I mean, you can, every year you got great matches in the Henlopen Conference.
Right. Especially the Northern Division.
Yeah. Now with Milford in the Northern Division,
it's going to make it a lot tougher.
It's going to be a Donnybrook.
Milford has won 6 consecutive Division II state team titles. This year they move up to Division I. They're still ranked number 3 in Division I coming up from the and there's a stall call on O'Hara.
And I think that was a good call, but he certainly he was using his legs to try to bring it back down.
That's going to be the end of the second period. 6-1 lead for O'Hara. He's in the burgundy, and he's going to be on bottom. Rubechkin in the top position.
Rubechkin?
I have to get the bracket sheet. I have to tell him his handwriting is not Rubrecht.
I have to apologize to his parents.
Yeah. No, it's Rubrecht.
They're watching. Rubrecht. Sorry. Okay, there's possible stall coming there, and there it is. Same position. We're seeing that
just
a lot
guy,
here.
Yeah. And O'Hara escapes from it, so gets the stall warning. And I think the clock didn't get started.
That's something where, some guys are aware of that. Strategy-wise, you got to know that if you're not going to bring him back down, if you can't bring him back, you got to cut him. Especially if you need points like that, and he certainly needs to rack up some points.
You got to beat the ref to the call or to the thought, I guess. 6-1 lead for Tim O'Hara in the burgundy singlet for the Milford Bucks. He's the second Milford wrestler in the finals. Jack Toady won a title at 120. Double leg shot by Rubeck. Switches off to a mid-level single.
And there Tim wraps those legs in
inside
again, and he pulls him up with that whizzer. God, that's hard to crack, that kind of defense. It's got to be frustrating when you get in on a leg and, the battle's starting. Look at this.
Another thing he does, Kurt, is he keeps himself square facing his opponent in that single leg.
Yeah, and now he counters and turns it into his own takedown.
9-1 lead for Tim O'Hara. But that, going back to that mid-level single, you don't want to be hip to hip. You don't want to turn away. He does the right thing. He faces him in hand fights.
Right.
O'Hara with a boot in now, looking to go with a little hook on this side. Nothing there. 47 seconds to go in the match. He leads 9-1.
It's like you use your body. Everybody's got certain advantages, depending on your physique. And, Tim's got that length, and he just uses it so well. I mean, I just see how, he moves well he moves laterally very well, and defensively just, he spreads those legs out. It's hard you get one leg, you can't get the other leg.
That's right. 15 seconds to go in the match. And Tim O'Hara trying to become the second Milford Buccaneer to claim a title here tonight. And I think there's probably, 60-some years they've been running this tournament, Kurt? The Milford Invitational? It's been a long time. I
I
wrestled
know.
in it, you know.
Since I can remember.
And that's it, 9-1 win for Tim O'Hara. Major decision for the Milford Buccaneers, and he's your champion at 138 pounds.
It's another guy. It's just fun to watch him wrestle.
And young, only a sophomore.
Yeah.
So we're going to move to 145 pounds. And it's going to be an all-Delaware battle here from William Penn in the black and the cherry and black single. Let me get that right. I don't want to offend any of the William Penn fans.
Cherry.
William Penn, a junior, 2-1 on the season, 58-27. Gerard Brinza, he was the the Blue Hen Conference runner-up, two-time state qualifier, and third place here at Milford last year. And he's up against Patrick Wisniewski from Cesar Rodney, 4-0 on the season, 71-21, and he is a senior here for the Cesar Rodney Riders.
Yeah, I gotta say that, you know, Pat here, he's certainly he's very experienced. And certainly has to have the advantage experience.
2-on-1, watch inside trip.
Yep, he likes that upper
There's the
body.
inside trip to the far leg, though.
Yeah, since his freshman year, he's been very solid with that 2-on-1. He wrestles Greco-Roman, and you know he likes to. He's very
shot by Brinza, and they're out of bounds. No score. Minute 24 on the restart.
Pat got in a weight program last year. He was a lot smaller last year, and then in the spring he got on a nice weight program. I saw him in May. I was like, I didn't know he was the same person.
And brings him, swings the gate, brings him to the mat. In the rear standing, minute 8 to go, and brings him forward, out of bounds, no score.
It's a good call. It's a good call.
And Coach Rigby wants to talk it over with the official. Minute 5 to go.
And there's Mike Jordan.
He's the assistant this time, so. But he's just going to take charge. Minute to go here in the first period, no score. And I believe Wisniewski is going to be down to 38 before the season's over.
Nice pull down. He's got some good motion going here. He's keeping him off balance. It's just when you guys doing that to you and he's moving you left and right, it's just you think it's just a matter of time.
Gets to the leg, brings it up. He's going to have to go low finish here.
Very good defense by Brinza. Very good key lock there.
30 seconds to go.
Pat's got to work his head to the inside of that leg.
And we're going to stalemate.
Let himself get stalemated there.
25 seconds to go on the restart.
He's using his hands very well, Pat is. He's moving, you know, he's got some good, like that collar clear right there. Little pass by. Moves laterally very well.
Seeing more and more guys at the high school division. You know, it used to be you didn't really see a lot of good hand fighting until the college level. We're seeing a little more of it here at the high school level.
Yeah, it's the evolution of wrestling. I mean, you know, kids watch those college wrestlers. You got to know you can't just shoot from the outside.
I was talking to my son, who's an assistant Cesar Rodney, talking about teaching the young kids, and he told me, he says, start hand fighting now. Start hand fighting now so they're ready when they get to the next level.
You got to put bodies on bodies.
Right.
Kids in little wrestler programs. I mean, they typically stand 3-4 feet away from each other, and they advertise, you know, shots.
Right.
You got to put them on top of each other and start them when they have their hands on each other.
Right.
And that's, you know, you can see, you know, guys in high school are doing this, like Pat.
Goes with a hazard roll here.
Nice turn.
And he's going to hold him 2. And he's going to get the 2. 2-0 lead for Pat Wisniewski in the blue, white, and yellow of the Cesar Rodney Riders.
He's got that high 4, or I call it backdoor leg. He needs to hike it up a little bit in order. He's lost a little leverage there. He's got to get some better leverage on it.
Riders are young this year, but they have the most state titles of any wrestling school in the state, 14 of them over the years.
14 state titles. Wonder how many William Penn has. They back in the day.
Yeah.
They had a run back in the 90s.
Another takedown by Wisniewski, 4-1. And gives him the release. 4-2 for Wisniewski. He's starting to feel himself here, Kurt. In on a double right away.
Yeah, you can see the confidence. When he lets him go, he's attacking the leg. I don't know what was that call?
Takedown. Well, now it's a takedown.
Oh, I thought he was.
See, our coaches are looking for a pin. He has not given him an escape, but he just signaled to. So there it is. There's your 2, and there's your 2. Or 1-2. So 6-2 for Wisniewski. 24 seconds left here in the second period. We're at 145 pounds. And like I said, I believe Wisniewski's plan is to descent down to 38.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big boy, though. He's going to be a big, strong 38-pounder.
Well, I know he's going 38 at the Beast because Jackson Dean will be back going 45 at the Beast. He just placed, 7th at the Ironman this week. And getting some more swipes there.
Nice tilt. I like that standing tilt where they bring him back. That was a
lot of people call it a cutback.
That was a big move.
Brinza's going to get 2 here.
20 years ago. Looks like I thought Pat was hurt there. Looks like he stopped wrestling.
9-6 lead for Wisniewski. Unless they're not awarded that last 2. Scoreboard has 9-4.
So they did. So they gave him 2 there. Because it would have been 9 to.
Should have been 9.
Wait a minute.
Was it 9?
Okay,
there is a
2
2.
more
It's 9-4.
escapes.
I thought he had a reversal there at the end. Brinza finished on top.
Okay. And there's that
high crouch.
Leg.
Wisniewski goes behind, gets
Cross
the score.
Arm. Looks like he's hurt now.
Holding his shoulder 11-4. And he did go down on that shoulder. Sorry, Kurt, I had to make a camera adjustment where our tilt was locked, so I had to get it unlocked so we could get this inside close action. So on injury time is Brinza, and we talked about William Penn. William Penn. Back in the 80s and the 90s, they were the team, and now Joe Arcangelo, Claymont guy himself, he's trying to bring it back to what they were. And I think the first step in that is you got to go out and win the Blue Hen Conference. Yeah,
well, certainly I was up there for Smyrna and William Penn on Wednesday, and Smyrna beat him real good, but Smyrna's got a really tough lineup. But they had numbers.
Right.
I mean, he has numbers, which is really that's the first thing you got to do. You got to get the numbers out, and then you got to coach them up. So getting somebody, it's a young.
Little
nice,
fireman's.
Getting some young guys in the finals here. It's a nice thing. What year is Brinza? Is he?
He's a junior.
He's a junior. So
Wisniewski's staying right on the attacks. And he's going to get another takedown, up 13-6. He now goes up 15-6 with a minute to go here in the third period. And out of bounds. Minute 3 on the restart. I think the middleweights are going to be pretty competitive this year, Kurt.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're always competitive. Yeah. That's why most of the kids are right in there. Most of the kids weigh that. And
you're going to have Wisniewski getting down to 38, and also down to 38 you have the defending state champion Alex Poor from Carabel.
Right, and then you got Amir Pierce, who's
32, isn't he?
That's right. He's
Jenkins
32.
is 38.
Yeah, Jenkins. You got it. Yep, Isaiah Jenkins.
So could be a little battle here at 130, although I believe Poor beat Jenkins last week at Ray Oliver.
Yes, he did.
Oh, nice little, great chain wrestling here by Pat Wisniewski. With under 30 seconds go, looking for one more takedown.
He's been able to keep that pace up this whole match. He started off with his hands, working him really good with his hands, moving him around, and when you do that, he didn't score a lot. But, you know, eventually when you're doing that, when you're moving your hands and you're keeping pressure on, you know, coaches like to use the term heavy hands.
Right.
And, you know, eventually what you do is you wear the guy down, and, you know, it makes it very difficult for him to stay up.
And on another double leg with 10 seconds to go. He's going to – no! Ritza gets his back but comes around and scores. So that's going to be a 15-9 win for Patrick Rzuski of the Caesar Rodney Riders at 145 pounds. I'm not sure quite how he came around on that, Kurt.
You like to see how guys finish strong. I mean, he just knew he gave up his hips, and so he's just like, okay, I'm going to go for a throw, and it just worked out for him.
Patrick Rzuski is your 145-pound champion for the Caesar Rodney Riders. Their first guy in the finals, their first champ tonight. And we move to 152 pounds. And for Smyrna, Bryce Mullen, he's a sophomore, 7-2 on the season, 39-18 career. First last year at the Milford Invitational, and fourth in the Delaware State Tournament last year. And this kid he's up against from Sanford, he's kind of special. Last year he was a state finalist as an 8th grader. And it looks like he grew into a singlet, Kirk. Remember last year he came out in that baggy singlet? Everybody thought, who's this guy? Well, this guy is Justin Griffin. He's a freshman this year, state finalist as a 8th grader. He's 7-1, 37-2 on his career. And
well, this is an interesting matchup because both are I guess Justin's a 9th grader now, right?
Justin's in 9th grade, yeah.
He's 8th, so they're both second year at high school wrestling. But so it's going to be interesting. Bryce is a really good athlete. You know, he throws everything at you, and Justin is he's really. The right word is he's scrambly.
Yes.
He just is able to. He's funky. You know, he's very hard to score on. As you saw right there, that first takedown looked like Bryce had him dead to rights, and he just kind of wiggled his way out of it.
Well, I didn't get to see him until the state tournament last year. I had him on the rankings, but I never got to actually physically watch him.
He's trying to get out of bounds here. Bryce has a nice.
And one of the reasons
shot.
he's hard to score on, he holds great position for 6 minutes. In the third period, he's going to be in a good position if he's on his feet.
Yeah, he just, he's very deceptive. You look at him, you just think, well, he's not, he's not very defined. But
no.
Of course, for a 9th grader, that's, you don't see 9th graders coming up with muscles like that. But I mean, he's very deceptive with his positioning. Like you said, he's holds good position. He's hard to score on. Good defensively. Talk about good defense. I mean, I've seen him give up all kinds of positions, and then next thing you know,
he gets hit with a stall warning.
Better not question that one.
No. 27 seconds to go here.
And there's that collar clear. I like, guys hang on the head, and Justin does that. So does JT Davis. They're really good with that collar clear. When Justin kind of hangs his head, guys put their hands on him. He turns sideways, and they just drop off. He gets an angle and gets a nice shot off.
End of the first period, no score. We're at 152 pounds at the Milford Invitational, and Griffin's going to go down right away. I believe he had a brother was a state champ a few years back from Sanford.
Yes. I'm not sure if he was second.
I thought he ended up winning in his senior year.
I'll have to check that. Yeah, maybe he did.
And, look at the transition comes out. Now he's in on a leg from bottom. And now looking to gather 2 feet. Not that.
Bryce being stingy here, locking in. He's got to keep those knees up and pinch that, make sure that head comes down. He called him locked hands there. That's
he's under the pits.
That's the right call.
Yes. And the reversal.
It's a tough position to give up that.
So 3-0 lead. And this is what Griffith does. I watched him last year at State Tournament. He beat Saffold. He beat Wisniewski. He beat quality guys along the way, and it was like death by 1,000 paper cuts. He just slowly picks it up and just picks you apart.
That's a good analogy.
He's not flashy. He's not in a hurry, but he's going to get reversed. No, he's going to re-switch.
And he's just very solid with in every position. He's very solid. You can't hold him down because he's just too wormy.
Right. 3-0 lead, minute to go in the second period. He's got a wrist and the bar across the back. And now he's going to look chested over maybe.
Bryce is going to have to wiggle out of this or he's going to sit on it.
42 seconds ago, we're going to get a potentially dangerous.
Yeah, that was a lucky call for Bryce there. Now I can push refresh here and get a new start. Hopefully,
Griffin was at 32 last year. He's all the way up to 52.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah, Granby roll by Mullen, but he's just able to ride with it. And
Bryce needs to come up to his feet and force him to bring him back to the mat. It's hard to get like switches and short turns on him on the mat.
20 seconds to go here in the second period. 3-0 lead for Justin Griffin in the white singlet, representing the Sanford Warriors. And as the clock winds down, a stall call on bottom, so they're even on the stall warnings. And the second period comes to an end. 3-0 lead for Justin Griffith.
So he's kind of.
Mullen's going to take top. So he's going to have to. He's going to have to put a little more pressure on. Last time there's a little sit there by Griffith, and next thing you know, he's in on a leg. He's going to go high four here.
He try to cradle. No.
And potentially dangerous.
He's going to have to make something happen. He's got to get some forward pressure and keep him on his hands. There he goes. Got the forward pressure. Now he's got to change off to something. There's cradle. He's going forward, but he's a little high.
Right.
Little high.
He's got it now. He's got it locked up.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. He's got it. Got him.
But he's in his own trouble. He might get a defensive pin here.
He's got to get some.
No backs.
See, that's the thing about Griffith. Gosh, he's tough to score on like that.
And he has to cut him. 4-0. He just seems to understand his body and his position and where he is on the mat. And
the fact that he was aware enough to put that hand on the mat,
right,
knowing that if he's on his elbow, it's back points.
Right. Could be an interesting matchup this year at 52 because that's where Jackson Dean's going to be the two-time state champ. Out of Cesar Rodney. And Griffith, he's going to be a handful for anybody.
Sure is.
Minute to go here in the third period. 4-0 lead for Justin Griffith in the white for Sanford Warriors.
Bryce needs to turn it up here on his feet if he wants to have a chance.
Oh, out of bounds. A little bit looking to go behind a cradle. Snap down by Griffith. He's in a front head, looking to go behind, gives around the waist. Takedown 6-0. "24 seconds ago," like we said, not a lot of flash here, but boy, he gets things done.
Yeah.
Just methodical.
You know, sometimes you can see like expectation when a guy shoots, and you know, I certainly, you know, in the first period, Bryce took some shots, really solid shots. It looked like he expected to score. That last one he took, it didn't look like he was
right, which led to the snap down and the go behind.
Come up with anything.
So your champion at 152 pounds is Justin Griffith of the Sanford Warriors. He wins 8-0. And we move to 160 pounds. We're starting to get to the big guys. There's going to be another Smyrna Eagle. It's going to be Drew Mayhall, the junior, 2-0 on the season, 28-19 career. He was third place at the Ray Oliver tournament this year. And he's up against another Milford Buccaneer, Dalton Deavy, a sophomore, 7-1 on this season, 33-15, third in the Hennepin Conference last year. And I'm trying to read his other. He was an All-American at the New Way Grand River Rumble. So here we go. Underway at 160 pounds. Deavy in the Milford Buccaneer Burgundy and Mayhaw in the Smyrna red.
So Drew's he's improved. He's one of the most improved wrestlers on on Smyrna's team. Last year, from last year to this year, where Drew has come is you can just see, we talk about confidence,
right?
And you can see like when he goes out and wrestles practice.
It's gonna be a stall, that new stall call going backing out of bounds.
What's the rule on that?
It's kind of related to the college rule now, where if you back out with no action, you get hit with stalling.
Right.
And they've also put stalling into its own category now, as opposed to when you get to the penalty chart.
Nice set of reshot, both wrestlers blocking out and then reshooting. Let's see who can keep up that pace there. Looks like both guys are pummeling in, and as we know, the Milford guys, they like to throw.
Yeah, you want to be careful going double under into a Milford Buccaneer, because they spend a lot of time, almost daily at practice, working on throws. Shot by Mayhaw, 45 seconds to go here in the first period. He gets under the leg.
He can come out the back door. He's got a split, right? There it is. Oh, he didn't hold on to the leg.
Devy able to pull away, 34 seconds to go. No score in the match. We're at 160 pounds, the 2019 Milford Invitational here on 302 Sports. I'm Benny Mitchell with Kurt Howe.
That's got to be fun when you go to practice, knowing you can throw.
Yeah.
And they're gonna let you go off on throws.
And now you get the stall on red this time.
That's the same call.
Yep.
Backing out of bounds. Well,
yep. Even if you get driven out, it's very similar to the college rule.
If you're not making an attempt to stay inbounds
circle
or
back
attack.
In, right? 7 seconds to go, no score at 160. Shot by
nice
Devy late and gets the takedown, goes up 2-0.
There's a brain fart by Drew. He just, the shot was there and it just didn't whiz her any defense there. I guess that was the end of the period.
Yeah, I guess the clock didn't start or something. But they getting scored on that last 20 seconds, you just don't get it back. You always want to score late. You don't want to get scored on late, because now you don't get a chance until next period. So down goes Devy. He leads 2-0. It's going to be a caution on Mayhaw.
It's that same thing, like being aware. I always wanted my guys to be aware of that last 15 seconds.
Right.
I used to say Eagle 1, Eagle 2, Eagle 3, and making sure they knew that they need to score or not be scored on in that last 15 seconds, because you don't have a chance to return it. Drew is
kind of locking himself in here if he can't get his hips turned.
He's got to get his hips in and stretch him out there with those legs. There it is. He's got him stretched out, but he's got to get height. Oh, there it is. He's got height.
Devy able to come out of it.
It was a really strong position for Mayhaw.
Minute 20 to go. 2-0 lead for Dalton Devy of Milford. Milford 2 champs already in Jack Toady and Tim O'Hara. Dalton Devy looking to be the third.
So Mayhaw trying to work that half. It's not really a power half because he took the legs out. Now he's back in on the legs. And
Devy coming up to all fours.
Trying to shake him off, but it looks like he's going over there. No?
Nothing yet.
Looked like he was turned. Yeah. I guess we didn't have a good angle.
We didn't have the angle Kenny Krieger had, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was right on top of it. Maybe his beard got in the way.
We were talking for the broadcast. He's one of those runners.
Yeah. He and Atkinson run together.
All right. Long way.
Yeah.
19 seconds to go here in the second period. 2-0 lead for Dalton Devy. Mayhaw been in a good position this whole period, just not able to get any back. Now he's in trouble late.
Position. He's got to squeeze and lock in. Here's that last 15 seconds again. You're down to 5 seconds. He's got good position now. He corrected himself.
There we go. End of the second period. 2-0 lead for Devy. And Mayhaw will have choice. And he's going to take bottom.
So that's the right call. We'll see what, in bottom. Well, there he goes.
Comes
right
to his
up.
feet, scores right away. 2-1. So here we go, 2-1. Both guys looking for a take. One to seal it, one to win it. Minute 52 to go. Both guys. Oh,
Nice.
Davey looked to take a double leg, but nice sprawl by Mayhall. Mayhall sprawls again. He's in a good front head position.
I think he's going to let him go. I hate letting guys go when you have them.
And there's the stall call on the back out.
And that's one.
That's going to tie it up at 2.
Wow, you got to be aware of that.
I think talking to a couple referees, there's an emphasis on calling stalling more.
Yeah, I
making
can see
guys
it.
wrestle.
I can see it. And, that call right there, the referees have to call it.
Right.
It's like I guess there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
You got to
It's
call it.
not a judgment call anymore. Mayhall in on a single, head on the inside.
You can convert that. Deevy's doing a nice job of working him out of bounds, but still in on the legs. Now it's stretched out.
Deevy able to sprawl. 59 seconds to go here. Tied up at 2 at 160 pounds.
And Mayhall can come up the back door there. He might have good position.
And a stalemate with 49 seconds. And, this is a match here, Kurt, we're probably going to see several times this year. Two Henlopen North opponents, and they're going to bump into each other a lot.
And this is what it's all about. You see two guys out there really struggling there, and they're you can see them both tired. They're both struggling getting up, and it's just battle of who wants it most. Both guys are going after it.
Shot by Mayhall. Oh, he gets a hook. Is he going to be able to finish him?
Scramble.
Under 30 seconds to go. Deevy with an overhook and an under. He's got it. And spins behind, gets the 2. Takedown Dalton Deevy with 20 seconds to go.
And there's that, you talk about the mental toughness. He has to, Drew was in on a great shot, and then Deevy's like, I'm not going to get scored on.
6 seconds to go.
It's not over yet, but.
And there it is, 4-2 victory for Dalton Deevy of the Milford Buccaneers. And that gives Milford their 3rd champion tonight. So they're kind of flexing a little bit here in their home gym.
Yeah, they're showing strong. Got another Milford guy up here.
Coming up at 170 pounds. Well, this is 170.
This is 182.
Yeah. What happened to 70? Maybe somebody's hurt. Oh, Wyatt McMullen's hurt. He got hurt in his last match. So Kurt's going to cut away, folks. He's going to go to his son's match, who's wrestling in the Constellations, wrestling for 3rd place for the Smyrna Eagles, his son Cale Howe. And he'll be back after that match. So we're at 100. We had a forfeit to Gabe Evans. And quick pin by Bavensky Augustin here at 182 pounds. 17 seconds for Augustin. Pinning Jason Lamy out of Sanford. So that's going to move us to 195. At 195 pounds, Nasir Druitt, William Penn, he's 1-1 on the season, 39-6 on his career. 6th in the state last year. Mount Matt Madness placer, Canal Classic champion, Howdy Duncan runner-up, and he's up against Sam Arkawilly out of Dover. 4-0 this year, 97-23 on his career. First place Mawa, 2-time conference placer and 3-time state placer. He is headed to Howard University next fall. So here we go. 195 pounds. Folks, at the end of the night, we're going to pick a Hammer of the Night, brought to you by the Henlopen Hammers Wrestling Club. Practice right here out of Milford and Sussex Tech. We'll pick the guy that we most impressive here in the finals, the most outstanding wrestler of the finals. Myself and Kurt will do that at the end of the night as we move to 195. And that's Nasir Druitt. He'll be in the black with the cherry stripes down the side, and against Sam Arkawilli from Dover in the royal blue singlet.
All right, man, is it my turn for an interview?
I'm not sure what the holdup is here. So here we go, action getting ready to get underway. 195 pounds. Arkawilli in the blue, Druitt in the black. William Penn in Dover. Druitt was a runner-up here last year at the Milford Invitational at 195 pounds. And the Dover Senators, they're tough up top with Arkawilli and Gabe Evans. And your typical upperweight match just kind of feel each other out. Oh, attempted an inside trip by Arkawilli, not there. Druitt, great defense. And circles back inbounds. No score, 0-0. With 1:07 to go here in the first period.
Bryce Mullen to the awards area.
.35 seconds to go here. No score. First period of the 195-pound championship match at the Milford Invitational. Folks, you're watching 302 Sports. Live wrestling action from Milford, Delaware. And Arkawilli starting to put on some movement now, some ducks and some jukes and some. But then there's a shot by Druitt. Can't score. 15 seconds to go in the period. And we're going to end the first period. That's like it started, 0-0. So we move to the second. And coin toss is going to go to Dover. And they're going to take bottom right away, try to get that first score. And got to our right, Cale Howe, Kurt Howe, my broadcast partner's son, wrestling his third place match. So Arkawilli takes bottom position here. Second period, 195. Comes to his feet, turns, cuts. 1-0 lead for Sam Arkawilli, the senior for the Dover Senators. Snap attempt by Druitt. Elbow pass, but Arkawilli has his other hand tied up. And now both wrestlers trying to pummel in. Minute to go here in the second period. 1-0 lead for Arkawilli in the blue singlet.
Top three at 170 to the awards area.
Both wrestlers return to the center. 45 seconds to go in the second period. We're at 195 pounds. Trip attempt there by Druitt. 30 to go in the period. Shot by Arkawilli. And Druitt able to jack him up with that underhook on the right side. Guys are like 6-pounders out here, man. Shot and reshot, and 15 to go in the period. And we're going to end the second period. It's going to be 1-0 lead for Arkawillie. Druitt is going to go bottom. Arkawillie covers, and we are back to action here at 195. Druitt comes to his feet. Arkawillie staying in the rear standing position, lifts, attempts to return, not there, and he circles him back to the mat. And they go out of bounds with a minute 49 on the restart. So good job by Arkawillie not giving up the free release there as he came to his feet. He battled and got him back to the mat. So Arkawillie covers, and there's your whistle. Druitt cuts, turns, and going to get the escape. 1-1 here, third period. And a shot by Druitt. Going to have to close the gap a little for his score on that. Shot from that far away. Minute 28 to go in the third period, all tied up 1-1. We go back to the center, minute 12. Shot attempt by Arkawillie. Now he's got him in a body lock. And they go out of bounds. With a minute or 56 seconds left on the restart. Both wrestlers putting on a heavy hand fight here. .35 to go, 1-1 here in the third period. I don't believe either wrestler's been hit with stalling, so. Shot by Arkawillie, reshot by Druitt. They go to the edge, out of bounds, 20 seconds left, no score. Or 1-1, no score on the takedown attempt. And it looks like Arkawillie's going to come up back to the mat. Trainer came out, but he's fine. 18 seconds to go. Takedown could win it.
You're good. You're fresh.
Lat drop attempt by Arkawillie, and time's going to run out as Druitt brings him back to the mat. No takedown. We're going to overtime. 1-1 with a minute to go. So Arkawillie tried a desperate lat drop, almost paid for it. Minute on the clock in the first overtime. Sudden death. Both wrestlers in a collar tie, 38 seconds to go. We're in overtime at 195. And both wrestlers still, for 195, still pretty fresh. Shot, double leg shot by Arkawillie. And they're going to go to the edge, out of bounds, 25 seconds left. Both coaches giving the instructions as they come back in what they want to win this match. Double leg shot by Druitt. Lifts up, goes to the edge, lat drop attempt. And he's going to score off with the defense by Nasir Druitt. He's your champ, 2-0 in overtime for the William Penn Colonials and their first champ of the night. Nasir Druitt, the Milford Invitational champ at 195 pounds for the Colonials. So we move to 220 pounds.
On deck now, 285 pounds, Billy Chesney, Greensburg Salem.
And for the Greensburg-Salem, John Myers, senior, 5-0 on the season. Pennsylvania State qualifier, 6th place at the Super 32. Fargo Greco All-American. He is headed to Seton Hill next fall. And he's up against Anthony Diaz from Milford. He is a state runner-up last year, Henlopen Conference champion last year. Then we move to 220 pounds. So we got Parsley versus Parsley here out of 220 pounds, the two coaches. And we have referee stoppages. We'll get rid of the anklet. Minute 33 to go at 220 pounds.
There you go. Just like that, John.
A little snap attempt there by Myers. Looking to go high crotch. And this time it goes underhook, and good defense by Diaz.
John, let's get to a leg here.
And back comes my broadcast partner, Kurt Howe. And Kurt, you missed a 17-second pin by Vivensky Augustin, followed by an overtime match at 195. Nasir Druitt getting the win over Sam Arkawilly from Dover. Great match.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting.
All right.
All the excitement happens when I leave.
When you leave, yeah. 220 pounds down, no score. 30 seconds to go in the first period. Anthony Diaz for Milford. And, of course, the folks around here in Delaware, if you know Anthony Diaz, this guy, he tries to keep it close, and he knows how to win those 4 overtime matches.
He also likes to throw.
Yes, he does. And he's going to get hit with a stall.
Drop.
So he's going to get a stall warning with 10 seconds.
And that's been a consistent
Yeah, they've
call
been very
this night.
consistent with it tonight. Yes, they have.
You can't argue that. He was upset about that, but that,
Well,
same
one
position.
thing that's going to teach Kurt is mat awareness.
Yeah.
It's going to these kids, and it might be something that the coaches have to go in the room and practice, circling away from the circle, kind of like you do with the freestyle and the Greco.
I was about to say it's very similar to what they've been doing with freestyle and Greco, where even if you step out of bounds, regardless how it happens,
Right.
it's a point. So they
Cut and score by Myers. He's up 1-0. So if it gets to the ultimate rideout, he has the choice. But I don't think he wants to get it that far. He's looking to go behind. Caught in locked hands, but there's no takedown.
hard to see over there.
Well, he caught a locked hands, but he had gotten the escape. Coach Parsley's not arguing it, so. Then you have Myers has a 4-0 lead. Maybe the locked hands came before the escape. It could have very well been. And he's gonna go to that high 4. And I tell you what, Kurt, 195. It was a low scoring match, but there was a lot of action, a lot of hand fighting, a lot of juking, a lot of up and down, moving around.
Sam's exciting. Who did he wrestle?
Nasir Druitt from William Penn. Nasir Druitt beats him in overtime, 3-1. So Myers able to get Diaz flat. Minute 8 to go. Milford with 3 champs or 4 champs tonight. And some pretty good competition here. You got this part of the Smyrna Eagles. You got the Caesar Rodney Riders and Greensburg Salem. They're always tough in the Pittsburgh area. St. Mary Riken, they're tough around the Baltimore and the private school.
Yeah, it's
Mixed bag.
It's always, you know, back when we were in school and you had the Milford Invitational, it was always, you know, it was always a preview of the
Blue hen
conference.
hen loping, yeah, and with some blue hen
Yeah.
team. William Penn's always been here.
And you had, you know, I mean, really, essentially, it was a preview of state championship because you see a lot of that competition. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sally's
Used to come. St. Mark's made come. There's a stall call and a point awarded to Myers. And he's just putting the pressure on top. And we're going to get a stalemate. So 4 seconds to go on the restart. 5-0 lead for Myers.
Diaz not too happy about that call.
No.
But, you know, he's flat on the mat. You know, it's kind of hard to.
Looking to rise up. A second to go, and he's not going to get it. So we move to the third period. Diaz is going to take bottom position. And Myers going to go optional start.
Myers, a real nice physique, big kid.
Shoot.
See a lot of
shoot from Vision Quest.
Yeah, there you go.
5-1 as the free release given to Diaz. Yeah, I think he's found his way to the Greenberg-Salem weight room. I don't think he just walks through it.
I'm sure. He's got to be either a defensive end or,
right. Or linebacker.
Pulling guard.
Right. 5-1 lead. Minute 35 to go here in the third period. One match left after this, and we'll go to a quick. Oh, nice shot by Myers, and he's just taking it to the Delaware State runner-up from last year.
Diaz not looking like he wants to come back up.
Myers, he's a Greco and freestyle All-American, and All-American at Super 32. So he came in with the credentials, and he's showing why. 7-2 lead, minute 4 to go. Diaz is like, I'll be glad when this guy leaves for Pittsburgh.
He doesn't look too happy to be out there right now.
I need you top 3 place winners at 195 pounds in the awards area. Top 3 at 195.
You know, he's not used to getting dominated
No.
like this, and you know, it's you know, that's the thing about wrestling. You know, it's just having this talk about with my son
yeah.
about, you know, there's always somebody out there.
That's
You're not gonna win every match. You gotta.
Well, unless you're Kurt Howe. Kurt 108-0 with one of the greatest stories about that banner at Newark High School. One of your kids asked you, "You really beat somebody 108-0?"
One time I was sitting in that gym and just sitting in the bleachers, and somebody hollers out like in front of me in the bleachers, "Kurt Howe," and I was like, "Yeah." I didn't say anything. They said 108, no, and I was like, "Oh, they're reading the banner."
Right.
I thought somebody knew me.
Right. 4 seconds to go here. 7-2 for Myers, and he's going to be Greenberg-Salem champ with a 7-2 decision. And I tell you what's going to be good for Anthony Diaz is he's found something he has to go out in the room and work on, because there's another guy here in Delaware by the name of Hugo Harp that wrestles the same style.
Yeah, that's right. They're gonna be knocking heads, I'm sure, a few times this year.
So we move to 285, the last match of the night. For Smyrna, Andrew DeBenedictis Bain. He's a senior, 7-1 on the season. And he's up against Billy McChesney from Greensburg-Salem, 8-0. He's a sophomore, Kurt. First North Coast Classic and first at the Erie Invitational.
Tough kid.
Yeah, I think just like the last guy, Myers, he's found his way through the weight room too.
Well, you know, these guys are strapping it on against each other every day in practice.
Right.
So unless he's, you know, he's not going to be a dish rag out here.
That's right. Well, you know, competing in the whip-yo, just that alone is, you know, you got to be a tough hombre.
Yeah, Randy was talking about, you know, they got a lot of guys in the finals here, and you know, he's just saying to me, we're just an average team in the whip-yo.
Right.
Andrew's a kid that's kind of grown into heavyweight. He wrestled for me at 220, and as a freshman and sophomore, he kind of got a little too big to be to make 220, and then.
Oh, what a double leg! Oh, and Bain with a lat drop, but no, he recovers it with a headlock.
Just didn't turn his hips enough. got to come to his knees here.
So takedown and 2 back, 4-0 lead.
It's a
And
nice counter.
we have injury time.
Oh, goodness.
And actually, Bain ended his season last year on an injury. The concussion, wasn't it, at the state duels? He hit hard to the mat.
Yeah, that's right.
Wasn't a slam or anything. He just went backwards with the full weight of Kevin Hudson on him, who was about 250 at the time.
Yeah, he's had his share of injuries. He's 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 had an ankle. I remember he rolled an ankle, and I think he had a wrist injury one time. He's hope it's not a
He was
concussion.
kind
I
of
didn't
twisted.
see what happened there.
I looked like there something with his left shoulder. It was stuck underneath him. I don't know if that's what the injury is or not. But the trainer appears just to be working on rubbing his neck, so maybe just a little burner.
Chesney had him in a
Side
kind of a headlock,
and they got he tried to roll through,
but it was a weird position because he was flat, but he was on his belly, and so it's hope it's not like something with his neck.
Right, that seems to be. I think they're going to default this match. There's only about 10 seconds left in the injury time, and he's still face down.
Yeah,
he's shown some movement. It's just I think the trainer wants him to stay still. And it does look like to be maybe the left shoulder. As he just lifted off the mat. So injury time has run out.
Yeah, there's no need to risk anything.
No,
here.
it's December.
It's a long season.
So your champion at 285 is going to be Billy McChesney with the injury default. So, folks, we're going to take a commercial timeout, and we're going to come back we're going to name tonight's hammer of the night. Folks, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer of Sodell Concepts. We have 8 locations, a catering company and a food truck right here on the Culinary Coast in southern Delaware, and we'd love to see you at one of our locations. Fish On and Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue in downtown Rehoboth, serving homemade pasta. Papa Grande's in downtown Rehoboth. Our treetop deck has the best happy hour around. And Matt's Fish Camp, located on Route 1 in North Bethany Beach, your classic seafood shack. At Sodell, we believe in beautiful, simple food and making the world a better place. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Sodell Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the Culinary Coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Sodell Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Sodell Concepts on the Culinary Coast with 10 locations from Lewis, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodell Concepts. Sodell Concepts is a
At Capstone Homes, we strongly believe that there's not a one-size-fits-all formula to creating a home. Each home we build is designed and drawn specifically for each and every one of our amazing customers. With Capstone, we want you to be inspired to design a home that's customized for your every need. Our highly skilled team will be with you every step, delivering the quality that you deserve. Create your new home. Create a Capstone home. At Capstone Homes, we strongly believe that there's not a one-size-fits-all formula to creating a home. Each home we build is designed and drawn specifically for each and every one of our amazing customers. With Capstone, we want you to be inspired to design a home that's customized for your every need. Our highly skilled team will be with you every step, delivering the quality that you deserve. Create your new home. Create a Capstone home.
Congratulations, Dover Federal, on 60 years in business in Delaware. You've been by our side since our doors opened.
Thank you so much for giving me a call on so many years ago when I had no credit.
You helped our business grow into what it is today.
As a military family, thank you for supporting the financial needs of servicemen and their loved ones.
Happy anniversary, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Happy anniversary, Dover Federal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Congratulations.
And welcome back to Milford High School, folks. It's time for the hammer of tonight's tournament. Kurt Howe, who is tonight's hammer?
I'm going to have to say Bavinski Augustin from Milford.
With the 17-second pin over Jason Lamey. Both these guys are probably going to be ranked top 6 when the rankings come out next week. So big accomplishment there for Bavenski Augustin. Folks, we're going to take a commercial timeout. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Augustin here on the set.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust. Life's too short to hate your home.
And welcome back to Milford High School here in Milford, Delaware. And the hometown guy gets the award. He's the hammer of the night, Bavenski Augustine. Bavenski, talk about it. I mean, it's not a whole lot to talk about in your finals match. Is you walked right out. A tough competitor, and Jason Lamey, I mean, he's going to be a top 6 guy when the rankings come out next week. And boom, you do it in 17 seconds. Take us through the 17 seconds.
I definitely wasn't expecting it, but I don't know. I guess the work I put in, it just came out naturally.
Well, what did you, when you went out there to even make that throw attempt so early in a match? I mean, I've seen you throw a lot of people, but I mean, you went right after. What was it you saw or felt? Is it just something you felt when you put your hands on him?
Yeah, it was just there. He wasn't really strong up top, so I just said, why not just go for it? And then I did, and
4 champions here tonight for the Milford Buccaneers. Talk about that. You guys get the team title. Talk a little bit about your team, and you know, you're moving up to Division I this year. Talk a little about your team and what they did here this weekend.
I mean, we did really good for all the teams in PA, and we don't have a full lineup, so I think we did pretty good. Everyone, Tim, Jack, everyone did pretty good. I mean, and we won, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys won the team title.
We don't have a full lineup, so I think we did pretty good.
So let's go back to Wednesday night. You did this again Wednesday night against Cape and Logan. You guys are down 29.6 matches to go. You guys start pulling some pins out. You don't only get the pin, you bump up to 220, and you get a pin in under a minute, and then you guys walk away with the match, and that's your first match back in Division I in the Henlopen North. You know, you get through Cape, and, I mean, they had you down. Talk about that, you know, because your match is kind of what sealed it.
Well, I mean, I know he was good because last year he was about 152.
160, yeah.
160, and then he gained some weight, so I know I had the advantage because he gained a lot of weight.
Right.
So I just said if I go out there, work him, then I'm gonna come out on top, and I did.
Now you guys are coming off 6 state titles. You moved to Division I. It's going to be a little tougher this year. You got Smyrna, who's, you know, loaded just like you guys are, but that's down the road. Talk about the Milford Bucks and what you guys have to. What, if anything, what do you have to do to make Milford Bucks the state champs in Division I this time?
I mean, we have to keep working. We got to work harder because we got Smyrna. Smyrna's pretty tough. Sally's, I heard they're pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
They actually ranked before us, so to beat them, we got to work harder than we usually do because it's not Division II anymore. Competition is harder. Everyone is better, so.
Yeah, you guys had your way. You were the bullies of Division II there with 6 straight state titles. So move up and get a shot to get number 7 in a row, but it has to be in the bigger division. Bavenski Augustine, congratulations. He's our hammer of the night here at the Milford Invitational, the 182-pound champion here tonight. Folks, we'll be right back after this commercial timeout.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer of Sodell Concepts. We have 8 locations, a catering company and a food truck right here on the Culinary Coast in southern Delaware, and we'd love to see you at one of our locations. Fish On and Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue in downtown Rehoboth, serving homemade pasta. Papa Grande's in downtown Rehoboth. Our treetop deck has the best happy hour around. And Matt's Fish Camp, located on Route 1 in North Bethany Beach, your classic seafood shack. At Sodell, we believe in beautiful, simple food and making the world a better place. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott
At Capstone
Kammerer.
Homes, we strongly believe that there's not a one-size-fits-all formula to creating a home. Each home we build is designed and drawn specifically for each and every one of our amazing customers. With Capstone, we want you to be inspired to design a home that's customized for your every need. Our highly skilled team will be with you every step, delivering the quality that you deserve. Create your new home. create a capstone.
Dover Federal on 60 years in business in Delaware. You've been by our side since our doors opened.
Thank you so much for giving me a call on so many years ago when I had no credit.
You helped our business grow into what it is today.
As a military family, thank you for supporting the financial needs of servicemen and their loved ones.
Happy anniversary, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Happy anniversary, Dover Federal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Local people, local decisions, Dover Federal Credit Union.
Congratulations, Dover Federal on 60.
So welcome back to Milford High School, the Milford Invitational. Benny Mitchell here for 302 Sports. I want to thank Kurt Howe for his assistance tonight. Allison, my wife on the camera, Kristen Mitchell. Let's go down to the rundown. At 106 pounds, your champion, Julian Rapuno of Del Castle. He got the fall in 5 minutes and 33 seconds. At 113 pounds, Matt Meadows of St. George's. He gets the 2-0 overtime win over Mason Buckler of St. Mary Rikens. Then at 120 pounds, Jack Toady, 8 wins, 8 pins so far this season. He's showing why he's probably going to be the number one ranked 120-pounder when the rankings come out next week. He gets the second period pin over Daniel Williams of Delaware Military. Then at 126 pounds, the winner of the most falls in the least amount of time award here tonight is Evan Eldridge of St. Mary Riken. He gets the fall in a minute 3 seconds over Nico Williams of Greensburg Salem. Then at 132 pounds, Blake Jury follows it up for the Knights with a 9-2 decision over Scott Regan of St. George's. Tim O'Hara, he gets the win at 138 pounds, got himself down to his weight for this season. Tim O'Hara with a major decision for the Milford Bucks, one of 4 champions for the Buccaneers. And then it was Patrick Wisniewski with a 15-9 decision over Jared Brinza of William Penn's. Wisniewski for the Caesar Rodney Riders. And then at 152 pounds, Justin Griffin, the freshman, with an 8-0 major decision over Bryce Mullen out of Smyrna. And then Dalton Deavy with the late takedown for the Milford Buccaneers to get himself a title at 160, 4-2 decision over Drew Mayhall of Smyrna. Gabe Evans is the 170-pound champ by default. Wyatt McMullen, St. George, is injured in the semifinal match. Jason Lamy and Bavinsky Augustin, 2 guys that we're going to be talking about towards the end of the season. Bavinsky Augustine, he gets the fall in 17 seconds. He's our hammer of the night, brought to you by the Henlopen Hammers. And then at 195, maybe the most entertaining match of the night, is Nasir Druitt out of William Penn, the 2-0 overtime decision, 3-1 overtime decision over Sam Arkawilly of Dover. Those 2 guys, you're going to see them again down towards the end of the season. And that 220 pounds, John Myers, Greensboro, Salem, he gets the 7-2 decision at 220 over Anthony Diaz of Milford. And then Billy McChesney with the injury default over Andrew DeBenedictus Bain of Smyrna. Benedictus Bain was able to walk off the mat under his own power. The team title, Don Parsley beats Randy Parsley. Milford beats Greensburg Salem 428.5 to 388 here in the team final. So, folks, that's your wrap-up from the Milford Invitational. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock start at Sussex Central. It's a battle of 2 top 5 teams in the state, and it's a Henlopen North battle. Caesar Rodney Riders, they're headed down to Sussex Central, 2 storied programs here in the state of Delaware. Match time, 7 o'clock at Sussex Central. We'll be there live. 302 Sports, folks, I'm Benny Mitchell. Signing off. See you Wednesday night, folks.